Off Script with Super E recommends listener discretion as these real but sometimes uncensored stories can be filled with mature content. Hello everybody, Jay here, coming to you live from A-Train Studios. Sitting to my left as always, A-Train, say something.
Hello listeners, it's A-Train. How are you?
They're doing great. And Super E, how are you, man?
Doing okay.
All right, so from what I understand, you got a couple of great tales for us today, so why not launch right into Super E telling us a tale?
Well, I got a message from one of our most loyal listeners, my mom. No, somebody was asking about how many times did I lock up the same person? And I kind of forgot about it. Then I remembered old Suzy D, one of the street prostitutes that I raced not thrice, not 14, but 5 times.
Spanish.
Wait a minute. Is 14 4 in Spanish?
I think. I don't know. No, that's
I thought that
Quattro.
was
It's Quattro.
Quattro. Okay. I was doing my U2. I'm sorry. But anyways, I got Suzy D 5 times.
Wow.
And I know it, and I could not believe it. But anyways, I'll start from the beginning. I was just doing the normal thing of going up down the hot dog stand on citizen complaints of street prostitutes. And I see a blonde girl, never saw before in my life. And I pull over, and she runs up to my passenger side of my car and jumps in and goes, "Hey, how you doing?" I said, "Pretty good." She goes, "You look like you'd like to get your dick sucked for about $30. I was like, 10-4.
Wow.
She goes, "Okay." And then I said, "By the way, I'm the police." And she's like, "Shit."
Just that. It was all that quick.
I don't know that I've ever seen such a forward hooker.
My God.
So, okay, this is numero uno for Suzy D.
Okay.
About a week later, I see Suzy D walking down the street again. And I said, why not? Maybe she'll recognize me. Maybe she won't. So she gets in the car, and I said, "Hey, what's going on?" She goes, "Wait a minute. Aren't you that police officer that just got me about a week ago? Because I went to jail." I said, "No, I'm not." She's like, "Okay, looks like you want to get your dick sucked. Cost you about $30. I was like, 10-4. Time to go to jail." She's like, "Fuck." So a couple of weeks later, now I'm cruising down the street in my 70 Plymouth Sport Fury.
So did you at least switch cars? Are you in a different car this time?
I'm in a different car this time.
Okay.
Every once in a while, I'd like to get my old Chryslers out just to stretch their legs. So I'm driving.
I remember seeing those.
Yep. I got the 70 Plymouth out. Hit her 3 times. Just for the hell of it. And she jumps in the car. She goes, "Nice car." And then she looked, she's looking around the side of the car. Then she looks at me. "Hey, wait a minute." I go, "Yeah? You're that fucking that son of a bitch. You locked me up." And I'm like, "No, I'm not." She goes, "Yes, you are." I go, "No, I am not." She goes, "Yes, I know who you are. It looks like Manson. Locked me up twice. I'm not an idiot." I go, "I am not him." And I thought, there's no way I'm going to get her, but I'm just going to go with it. And I was wearing one of my neighbor's shirts. He worked for FedEx, and his name was Mark.
His name was what?
So, his name was Mark.
Okay.
So on my shirt, it says Mark. I said, "I am not Ernest. Look on my shirt over here." She looks over and she goes, "Oh, well, I am so sorry. I stand corrected." She goes, "Well, I'm glad you're not him because that piece of shit he was."
But because it said Mark on your shirt, okay, yeah. I was wrong.
And she's like, "Well, so Mark, looks like you'd like to get your dick sucked for $30. And I said, "Yes, I would." And she's like, oh, okay. She goes, by the way, how long you worked at FedEx? Well, actually, I don't. What do you mean?
Hey, Supery, do me a favor so I don't have to do so many bleeps. Stop saying your full name.
Okay.
And
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, Supery. So,
all right.
So
anyways,
that's
now
three.
this is 3 times.
In hockey, they would call that a hat trick.
Yes.
So you got the hat trick, right?
Yes, hats
All
were
right.
flying all around my 70 Plymouth. So
Right.
now we go to a month later. And I'm a little bit farther east, but the streetwalkers are farther east, and they are
they do. They're kind of like caribou.
I guess so.
They kind of
Didn't
move.
realize hookers were so nomadic.
Yeah, they are. They're very nomadic people.
Well, they have their hot spots all the way up and down our main drag in our town that we love. So this one's a little bit farther east, and I'm driving along, and now it's nighttime, and I'm like, hey, there's a hooker walking along now. I'll just pick her up because, you didn't see too many out there. She jumps in my car. It was nighttime. And when the door opens, the interior light comes on. She sits in there. It's fucking Suzy again. And I'm like, oh, my God, this is what a waste of my time. And she looks at me and she goes, well, what's going on tonight? I thought, okay, she's got me. I said, not much. How about you? I'm looking to make money. What are you out doing? And I'm like, wait a minute. You tell me she doesn't remember me again? And I said, maybe I'm looking for something. She goes, would you happen to be looking for head? And I was like, I guess so. I said, anything about me look familiar? And she's like, no, not at all. I said, are you sure? And she's like, no, just as long as you're not that detective. We'll say, me last week. That fucking asshole, he lied to me. He tricked me last time. Well, oh, really? Well, how did he do that? I asked him if he's a police officer, and he said no.
Oh.
And I was like, man, he sounds like a diabolical mastermind.
That sounds like another one of those Hollywood myths.
It is. If I ask you if you're the police, you have to tell me the truth.
Yeah, that's a big Hollywood myth.
It is.
Good.
Exactly.
Grief.
And so she was like, yeah, it's like in the Constitution somewhere, like the 20th Amendment.
Well, of course.
And I'm like, okay, so nothing about me rings a bell. Nope. And I'm like, all right. She goes, $30 and I'll suck your dick. And I said, okay. She goes, by the way, my name's Suzy. And I go, but
I have to say this is really flying in the face of one of our very first episodes when Supery talked about how smart these prostitutes are. They're not dumb. I mean,
valid.
This is kind of flying in the face of that. Is just one in a million?
no, this is when you double down on alcohol and crack cocaine. Your memory gets a little fuzzy.
I see.
Okay.
And then, so Suzy commented on this. She's like, I cannot believe this. How many times is this? 2? And I go, no, Einstein. This is number 4. The 4th time you've been arrested by me, the same person, Supery. And you know what? You're holding the world record for me. And I've locked up hundreds and hundreds of hookers. And you take the crown for the goofiest one.
Since she talked about giving head, did you guys call her Suzy Chapstick?
No.
You remember that?
Oh, yeah, Suzy Chapstick. Yeah.
Call me
She was
Suzy
a
Chapstick.
person. Yes. So anyway, Suzy gets whisked off to jail. And now, just a month later, now she's all the way on the south end. Can we say Fountain Square? Is that too?
Sure.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, okay. No, don't say.
She's down there to Fountain Square area. They have their own hot dog stand area.
Let's just keep saying it.
Yeah. You could bleep it out.
I can. No problem, Supery.
Street. And I see a girl. It's not time, but it's extremely hot. She crosses the street, walks in front of my undercover vehicle, and jumps in. And again, I'm like, oh my God, it's Suzy.
God,
What is she probably wants to bitch at me for locking her up so many times or whatever, or probably tell me you'll never get me again, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or didn't you used to carry McDonald's vouchers? Maybe at this point she just thinks that you're going to be able to hook her up with a McDonald's voucher.
Yeah,
so
Big
she
Mac.
could eat something. Yeah, a lot of them need to eat.
Yes.
Right, that's true. So she jumps in the car and she goes, I know what you're out doing. And I was thinking, oh, she's got me. And I said, you're right. She goes, I know what you're doing. And I said, all right, okay. I said, all right, Suzy, you know what I'm doing. She goes, how do you know my name? I'm like, wait a minute. And I said, she doesn't know. Does she not recognize me again? She goes, how do you know my name? And I said, we've been together before. And she goes, I think we have. And I'm like, oh my God. And I said, yes. And she's like, I think I do recognize you. I think we've been together before. Yes, I think I have sucked your dick before.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, do you have to bleep that out?
No, that's fine.
Well, of course not.
I just do want to get on record. She never did that. It was,
no, she
yes.
never did.
Correct. Okay.
She thought I was a customer.
Yes.
That's very astute there.
Thank you.
A-Train.
Thank you.
So, anyways, I'm like, oh my God, she doesn't recognize me again. And so I sit there and I go, Suzy, you being out here, this is extremely dangerous for you. Raped, or you could go to jail for prostituting for money. And she goes, well, thanks for the lecture, but unless you're a Detective Supery, that son of a bitch has locked me up 4 times. I said, no way. Yep. That asshole has locked me up 4 times. I'm telling you what, he is a no good son of a bitch. I am so glad to know that I've got nothing to worry about because I know you're not him. And I said, that's good. She goes, oh, by the way, I'll suck your dick for $30. And I'm like, 10-4. And she goes, oh, you know my name. What's your name? I go, Detective Supery. She's like, oh my God. She's like, oh.
Man, that's why they call it dope. That is why they call it dope.
I was like, Suzy, what moronic life choices have you made that's led you right up to this point of being locked up 5 times by the same detective? She goes, bad decisions. And I said, that is right.
Okay, let's recap real quick.
No, there's more.
Oh, there's more.
Oh, well.
It's a quick thing.
Okay.
About 2 weeks later, I'm down in the same area. Now it's daytime, and I've got a bunch of backup out there. We were doing a street level sweep. And so I'm all wired up. Everybody could hear me. I've got about 10 people out there, maybe 20. And I said, guys, you're not going to believe this, but here comes Suzy D walking down the street, and I'm parked in the lot here of an abandoned, like a variety store or whatever. She's walking directly up to me. Either she's going to jail for the 6th time, or she's going to remember me.
Or she's going to jail for battery because she's coming to whoop your ass.
So she walks up to me and goes, what you doing? And I said, I don't know, just looking around. She goes, oh, nice try, Detective Supery. You don't think I'm stupid enough to get locked up again? I go, well, you managed 5 times to go to the clink, Suzy. A 6th time wouldn't be off the table now, would it? She goes, you're right. And you only got locked up 5 times.
Okay, so how much time lapsed from arrest number 1 to arrest number 5? How much time went by?
I would say about 7 or 8 months.
And she didn't raise her prices?
And she did what?
She didn't raise her price? I mean, 7, 8 months? It's the same price for the same product? Same service?
She was like Walmart. She was pretty consistent.
Right. Well, now with inflation so high, I'm sure the price would be much higher.
Well, there's that. Right. Exactly.
Should be out of control.
So you're saying in 7 months, you locked the same prostitute up 5 times, and it wasn't until the sixth time that she actually recognized who you were. Is that what you're telling us?
Yeah, and she was kind of snotty and arrogant about it, and she was a little offended that I thought she could fall for the sixth time. 5 times, okay. 6 times,
Right.
How dare you?
How dare you? Yes. Absolutely. Just completely indignant, wasn't she?
What's the old saying? Fool
Yes,
me
that's
once,
exactly the way she
shame
is.
on you, or fool me, however that goes.
Fool me 5 times and...
Yes,
you know, I
my
don't
name
know.
is Suzy.
My name is...
Right. Wow.
Wow. That is pretty amazing.
That's a dandy there, Super E.
Oh, thank you.
That is a dandy. So, how many times you have to go to court?
None. She played scrubber down.
Right. Right.
Is there any part of you that thinks maybe she wasn't that dumb, that maybe she just needed to go in and for a good scrubbing and get a hot meal? I don't know.
No, generally that getting a hot meal and getting scrubbed is not on their mind.
Okay.
It is getting the next hit of crack, and hygiene and diet is way down on the list.
Gotcha. Yeah, that stands to reason.
So Suzy, I think you said she had a crack and an alcohol problem. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Kind of driving this lifestyle.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow. All right. Well, unless you've got something to throw into that one, Super E.
No.
Something else? Nothing else in the pool?
No, we could put a close on this episode.
All right. Well, all right. A-Train, you got anything to add?
I don't. I'm still kind of astounded.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're not talking 7 years.
7 months, 5
talking
times.
7 months.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Good.
All right. Well, I'm going to let the listeners think about this and ponder this situation. And while they do that, I'm going to play the exit music.
Take us out.
Bye. I'm going to play the exit music here.
Take us out.
And it's not playing. Okay. Jay, can you hum it? That was pretty good. Okay, everybody. See ya. Bye.